Two inmates are on the run today after escaping from a mid-Missouri jail. Good evening, I'm Brittany Pieper.
And I'm Justin Kollar. The inmates escaped early this morning and have been on the run since. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Department says James Randall Sherrill and Dustin Richardson escaped from jail this morning. The department says the men asked for a medical check and then stole the jailer's keys and left. Sherrill was in custody for possession of a controlled substance and Richardson for child molestation. The men should be considered dangerous. A century-old Columbia home is newly restored and gained a lot of attention downtown today. People gathered on 4th Street to see J.W. Boone home, built sometime between 1888 and 1892 for John William Blind Boone and his wife. Boone was a nationally famous concert pianist and composer. The John William Blind Boone Heritage Foundation has worked almost 20 years for this grand opening. One foundation member explained why the house is so important.
It has great historical significance because it serves as a testament to what African Americans were able to accomplish in the city of Columbia.
The home is now considered a Boone County historical site.
The Missouri State Parks program is set to celebrate 100 years. Originally founded in 1917, the program has grown from a 17-acre park to a system that now includes 88 different locations, totaling more than 150,000 acres. To commemorate this anniversary, the parks have created a passport program. Each park has a unique stamp participants can collect in the pages of their books.
The passport is a book that includes a page and some information about all 88 state parks and historic sites and encourages people to visit them all. You know, we know that people have favorites, but we want people to enjoy all of the state parks and historic sites in the system.
The first 1,000 participants to complete the passport will receive a prize package and be entered for a drawing for one of 5 Missouri vacation prizes. Well, this week marks...
Security has been stepped up outside the United Nations building in New York City. Dozens of police officers could be seen patrolling outside the building. Barricades were also set up outside. Most officers wore bulletproof vests and walked with their guns drawn. The additional security comes in light of an explosion in Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan Saturday night and the location of a secondary device. The Chicago Police Department announced they will expand their body camera program citywide. Chicago police officials say they will spend about $8 million to buy and outfit every Chicago police officer with a body camera. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says all officers on patrol will have the cameras by the end of 2018. But he offered no specifics about when exactly they will be purchased or which of officers will get them first. Superintendent Johnson says the cameras will help improve officer accountability and have already proved to be invaluable.
During a climate where law enforcement is facing more public scrutiny in recent history than ever before, the body camera pilot program we launched earlier this year provided itself to be invaluable.
The police department started issuing body cameras as part of the pilot program at the beginning of 2015. About 2,000 cameras are in use across 7 of the city's 22 districts. Minnesota police say they are continuing to investigate a stabbing inside a mall as an act of terrorism. Investigators say 8 people are recovering today after a man went on a stabbing rampage last night. Police officers were seen carrying photos, electronic devices, and other materials out of an apartment. Officers say they plan to execute a search warrant for a second apartment in the area. An off-duty officer shot and killed the suspect. Investigators are working to determine a motive for the attack. There are more questions than answers right now about Saturday night's explosion in Manhattan. Investigators want to know if that blast is connected to another possible explosive device found just a few blocks away in a pipe bomb explosion along the New Jersey shore. NBC's Dan Scheineman has the latest.
It was about 8:30 on a busy Saturday night when the blast rocked New York.
To track that at this point, it's still offshore, but we'll keep you updated on that as it moves closer. Check out Monday. We're 73. I think it's going to be much cooler next week. Just got to get through this week.
And so I saw fall on the forecast officially.
Thursday, yep.
And that's the coolest day, too.
When do you think we're going to actually start, like, looking like fall in
Looking
Columbia?
like it out there?
Yeah.
Well, October's right around the corner, and that's really when we start to see our trees start to change. And I think next week, especially with those cooler temperatures, it's really going to help that changeover in the trees.
All right. Thanks, Kenton.
You're welcome.
Up next, people with visual impairments are getting an upgraded theater experience.
How theaters are providing for differences in senses. That's when we return.
Welcome back to KOMU at 9 on the CW. A new kind of color commentary is coming to people who are visually impaired. Volunteers are describing what's happening on stage before a play, audience members who might not be able to enjoy the show otherwise. NBC's Joe Fryer reports.
For those who are visually impaired, the theater may sound like a daunting venture.
Take one more step.
After all, even when the curtain goes up at Washington's arena stage, they can't see what's happening.
A gas shortage across the southeast has made drivers anxious. A break in a pipeline in Alabama caused a leak and forced workers to shut down that part of the pipeline. From Georgia to Tennessee to North Carolina, there isn't enough fuel for distributors. Some gas stations have completely run out of gas, taken down prices, and put bags on the pumps. Drivers who do find a station with gas might end up paying more per gallon, from 25 cents to dollars more than usual.
I have a tank now, but I'm hoping that I don't run out of gas.
My job relates to, the fuel. I'm a truck driver. And, the way it looks now, if they run out of gas, what are they going to do about fuel?
Experts say the shortages should be temporary, but some people are waiting in long lines and stock. One person is dead and more than a dozen are injured after an explosion in Spain today. The explosion happened in an apartment building in Barcelona province. Officials say a gas leak is the most likely cause. Residents in nearby blocks have been evacuated while the blast is being investigated. Thai reports say at least 13 people were killed after a passenger boat capsized north of Bangkok today. The boat was carrying more than 100 people and more than 30 were injured. Officials say there was a collision and the boat capsized. An unknown number of people are still missing. Well, Mizzou opened its SEC schedule with a bang last night.
Yeah, the Tigers went toe-to-toe with Georgia, and it had a nail-biter of an ending. How the Tigers move on from last night's heartbreaker coming up in sports.
They've been around for months, but today they officially have identities. These panda twins in China are now Jing Jing and Kang Kang. Their names mean good health in Chinese. The twins were born in June and have grown from less than half a pound to now over 8.
Here's a look at what we're following for KOMU 8 News after the football game. U.S. women's soccer player Megan Rapinoe continued her protest at a friendly game tonight,
leaving her at odds with what is expected to be the U.S. coach and national team. More details on that tonight after the game.
But fall-like conditions ahead.
But you said it's going to get cooler.
It will.
And that's going to bring the gorgeous leaves.
It will.
I'm excited for it. Have a great night.